What's up, guys? Matt Brown here for thelines.com, playpicks.com. Going to talk to you about NFL MVP odds. I know it is early. We don't even know if the NFL season is going to start on time. We all hope that it will. But the draft is behind us. The odds are out. So it's time to look at these things, see if we can find some value, see if we can find anything out there that maybe you want to lock your money up for a few months with, because that's what you're going to have to do if you're going to bet NFL MVP right now. As always, guys, give us a subscribe, hit that button down there, give us a thumbs up, and let us know what you think about the NFL MVP odds. Let us know in the comment section down there below. You can see on your screen right here, lines.com. We got all the content you need. So just be sure and check out everything. And we're going to be updating every single sporting event that is possibly going on here. So be sure and check out the lines early and often. But let's go ahead and click over here. This is DraftKings. You can see 2021 MVP odds here. Patrick Mahomes 4-1, Lamar Jackson 6-1, Russell Wilson 7-1, Dak Prescott 12-1. That big update that they made to that offense there for the Cowboys. I mean, just massive with what they've done there. He comes in at 12-1. Of course, Tom Brady moving into that high-powered offense there in Tampa, 16-1. Drew Brees 25-1. Deshaun Watson 25-1. So look over here at FanDuel. You can kind of see, look, Mahomes, you're not getting as good a price on. Lamar Jackson comes in the same, less of a price on. Russell Wilson as well. Dak Prescott, as we mentioned, was sitting at 12. Brady at 16 over here at FanDuel. Prescott at 12. You see Drew Brees all the way down here at FanDuel at 16. You can see Tom Brady up at 18. So if you did want to go on the Tom Brady route, you would want to do that over at FanDuel. BetMGM, Mahomes is the shortest there. Russell Wilson 650, Lamar Jackson 700, Brady at 14 here. So you can see drawing some interest at BetMGM. Breeze at 20-1, Dak at 20-1 here at BetMGM. So if you did want to go Dak Prescott route, you'd want to do that over at BetMGM. But, you know, look, if we look at this, Patrick Mahomes, 4-1 at DraftKings. Look, he's the best player in the league on one of the best teams in the league with tons of offensive weapons. It makes a ton of sense. Former winner. We know Patrick Mahomes can get it done. You look here at Lamar Jackson at 6-1, same deal. Won it last year. A talented team. And look, it's just, do you want to lock your money up for several months on 4 and 6-1s? I don't play that game, right? Like that's not something I would rather have my money working for me than to lock that money up if I'm not going to get a big payday down the end of the line here. So listen, if you want to bet, if you have that type of bankroll and you want to bet Mahomes or Jackson or Wilson, even something like that, listen, I can make the case here for all three of these guys. I mean, you know, they're going to put up big numbers, sans injury. We know that. We know they play on good teams, yada, yada, yada. However, not a lot of people want to sit there and lock up money for months on end to only get a 4, 6, even a 7 return. So let's start looking at some of these guys a little bit later on down, you know, a little bit further down with some of these bigger payouts. First, let's give you a quick little rundown here of how this works. Now, I'm only talking about quarterbacks here because guess what? It's a quarterback award here. Let's talk about the modern, you know, we're just going to talk about the modern kind of, you could go back and yeah, they gave it to running backs all the time back in the 60s and 70s, stuff like that. But let's talk about just basically modern times here. Last like 13 seasons, 2019 all the way to 2013. Ready for this? Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Cam Newton, Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Manning. What do they all have in common? They're all quarterbacks. You get to 2012, Adrian Peterson, the lone running back in the last 13 years. You get to 2011, Aaron Rodgers, then 2010, Tom Brady, 09 and 08, both Peyton Manning, and then 07, Tom Brady again. One running back in the last 13 years. Also, you'll notice here only one back-to-back in the last 13 years as well. And that was way back in 08, 09, Peyton Manning, back-to-back award winner. So again, they want to try to spread the love out here. So Lamar Jackson probably has an uphill battle to win it again, to be perfectly honest, because they want to give it to someone new. This is showing out here. I mean, there are plenty of instances over the course of this, if you go back and look at the stats, where a guy could have won it in back-to-back seasons. They just gave it to somebody else, right? They want to spread the love out. Lamar Jackson probably has a pretty big hill to climb if they want to do that. They will give it to the same guy, though. Whenever you look at Mahomes, who didn't win it last year, they will give it to the same guy. We've seen Peyton Manning's won 5 MVPs. Brett Favre's won 3. Tom Brady's won 3. Like, they'll give it to the same guy. They just don't really like to give it to the same guy 2 years in a row. So just something to think about whenever you're looking at some of these other guys. But there are 3 guys that kind of jump off the page to me as to bets that I'm going to put in my account here for bigger payout type situations. And again, not a ton of money. We're talking, $100, something like that. Lock it up for a few months here, but I could get a big payoff down the line. First and foremost, that's going to be right here at DraftKings. It's going to be sitting at 30-1, and that's Kyler Murray. So 30-1 on Kyler Murray. You're looking at a guy, added DeAndre Hopkins to his arsenal. As a rookie, we've seen quarterbacks take big year 2 leaps. We've seen it time and time again. We're still talking about a guy here. Last season, he threw for 3,700 yards, threw for 20 touchdowns. He only threw 12 picks. And I mean, and added some yards here with his legs as well. Now look, he was sacked 48 times. He's going to get better pocket presence. He's going to get better awareness. He does have better weapons now as well with DeAndre Hopkins in town. If they were to able to sneak into the playoffs and maybe win a game in the playoffs, something like that, and you think what he did as a rookie with 3,700 pass yards, maybe he gets that closer to more 44, 4,500. He adds a few hundred more with his legs, as you know he will. Could certainly be a guy that could get you it could get you an MVP there and a return at 30-1. Another guy that I'm going to be looking at is, and again, that is right here at DraftKings at 30-1 on Kyler Murray. Another guy, this bet is at DraftKings as well, and that is down here at 50-1, a guy that's already won it before, and that's Matt Ryan. Why Matt Ryan, right? Well, let's look at it this way. If he makes it out of a division with this loaded Saints team and Drew Brees, a hyped Bucs team with Tom Brady, and somehow the Falcons are able to win the NFC South, he is going to jump into the conversation regardless. And if he is going to do that, if they are going to be able to win that division, you know that the numbers are going to come with it as well. If you look at Matt Ryan's numbers from last year, he only played 15 games, so didn't play all 16 games. He threw for 4,466 yards with 26 touchdowns and 14 picks. He was sacked 48 times last year, the most of his whole career. Now they went out and got an offensive lineman in the 3rd round to try to help with that offensive line here. He still has Julio Jones. He still has Calvin Ridley. And listen, if you believe Todd Gurley has anything left in the tank, Todd Gurley is added to the fold there for Atlanta as well. They added Hayden Hurst at tight end. And again, you kind of just take a look at where Matt Ryan, what is the clear path here? We always say we want a realistic path in these situations. Well, a realistic path to him winning this award is coming out of a stacked division down there with the Saints, loaded team, name guy and Drew Brees that he would be beating out. Another big hyped team in the Bucs with Tom Brady going there. They were able to beat them out as well. So now you're talking about he's instantly jumping to the conversation there. They win a playoff game or 2. Matt Ryan certainly is going to be in the conversation. A guy that's, again, won the award before, still has tons of weapons. Do you believe Todd Gurley helps out? Hayden Hurst, I believe, is going to help out there as well. Add an offensive lineman, hopefully keeps him upright a little bit more than he had last year when he was sacked 48 times. Matt Ryan at 50-1. And then my last one here is over at BetMGM. And this is really just a play I honestly do believe, I think that this could get home. And then also this is a play on numbers as well. So let's take a look here at Phillip Rivers at 80-1. If we go find Phillip Rivers over here on FanDuel, let's take a look. 44-1 right here, Phillip Rivers. If you go over to DraftKings, Phillip Rivers, let's go down and find him. 60-1. BetMGM, you are getting 80-1 on Phillip Rivers to win the MVP. Now, last season stats don't really matter. Phillip Rivers on a new team. By the way, Phillip Rivers plays for the Colts now, if you were unaware. Phillip Rivers goes over to the Colts. So let's talk about the path to getting here for Phillip Rivers, right? Well, let's talk about the weapons that he's got here. T.Y. Hilton, they go out and they draft Pittman. They're going to have Paris Campbell as well. Now you have those 3 wide receivers to throw to. How about this? Jack Doyle is still at tight end very good receiving tight end. They added Trey Burton at tight end as well. A guy that's probably going to play all over the field, right? He's not really your typical tight end. They're going to line him up all over the field. So you have all of those weapons right there. Oh yeah, you still have Marlon Mack. They added Jonathan Taylor in the backfield as well to help them continue to move the chains. So he has the ball longer, more chances to rack up stats. How about this? They're in a division with the Jags, the Texans, and the Titans. It's very, very real scenario for this Colts team to win that division. That means they're going to the playoffs. You get in the playoffs, you make something happen. Who knows what could happen with Phillip Rivers right here. Again, one of the better offensive lines in all of the league. So he should have time to throw to these weapons that he's got here. He shouldn't be running for his life. He shouldn't be getting sacked all the time. 80-1 on Phillip Rivers here. A bet that I have in my account already. Strictly, again, a numbers play. You're talking 44-1 over here. If you want to bet him over at FanDuel, you're getting 80-1 at BetMGM on a guy that team could very well win the division, which puts him in the playoffs to make some noise, tons of weapons around him, a great offensive line. Now, he's old. We know that. Might not have anything left in the tank, but if he does, voters probably could love that story as well. Nice little narrative of Phillip Rivers switching teams, taking a team to the playoffs, maybe even, winning a game in the playoffs or two, something like that. Phillip Rivers would certainly get some votes if that were to play out as well. So we want to make sure that there's a path to this actually getting home. There is a path to this getting home for Phillip Rivers at 80-1, guys. 80-1. $50 bet's going to bring you $4,000 back if that were to be the case there on Phillip Rivers. So those are the 3 MVP bets, are the longer shots that I like, longer shots that you can put into your account, and longer shots that I think could actually be some that could pay off for you. Again, 30-1 on Kyler Murray. Year 2 quarterback leap there, adds DeAndre Hopkins. Really like Kyler Murray. Staying at DraftKings, Matt Ryan at 50-1. Again, tough division. If the Falcons were able to make some noise in that division, make it out of that division, Matt Ryan certainly going to be at the top of the conversation and as well. And then over here, again, 80-1 on Phillip Rivers. Just too good to pass up for me. Love Phillip Rivers here. But guys, remember, this is a quarterback award, one time to running backs in the last 13 years. So, you can take one of these longer shots on these running backs, but man, he would have to have just an all-timer season to win the thing. A wide receiver would have to have just an all-time season. And we saw that even play out last year. It's just, it's very, very, very tough for this to go to anything other than a quarterback. So again, most likely keep your money with the quarterbacks. As always, guys, hit that subscribe button here on the page. Give us a thumbs up and let us know in the comments. Who do you like? What have you bet? What bets do you have for MVP now that we're past the draft and we're kind of looking forward to the NFL season here? As always, head over the lines and you can find all of the news and updates on everything that's going on in the sports world.